So we're going to do combined shapes now, combining shapes. So it's actually using quite similar skills to hidden shapes, except you're just putting them together rather than finding where they are in each other. So if we look at the approach that we're going to go with, first of all, you want to look at the shapes very closely and you want to identify key attributes, again, similar to hidden shapes. So what I'm looking at for key attributes here is first of all the pattern here. So there's a pattern on the square, the color of this shape, and also the fact that these two are attached. Right now, if we focus on the first shape, and then we can rule out any other options. Let's have a look at the two options that it's giving us here, right? It's giving us this option and this option, and we want to see if they're actually matching. Well, look at this shape. Is this shape in here? Well, the square is in there, but the circle isn't, right? There's an X here, so it can't be that. And if we look at this one's got all the right shapes, but the square is the wrong shading, so it can't be that option either. And you can see down here they've showed the correct option. Obviously the options aren't actually given here, but this is just a help sheet and it's just showing you how to think about it, imagining the options, right? And here is an actual example question, so this would probably actually help you guys visualize it a bit better. Same idea here. You can see this is joined on to the square, right? So as we did above, we want to look for this first in one of the options. We want to make sure that this is actually in there. Already we can cancel out D because it hasn't got the triangle, hasn't got the right color of the triangle. If we keep looking for any of these options that actually involve this first shape over here, this one seems to, it has the arrow, it has this arrow, right? Sorry, that's the curved arrow. So if I draw that in, but it doesn't have this rectangle because this should actually be blocked off. It's actually an L shape rather than just a rectangle, so it can't be C either. This one does have the first shape. You can see it all here. This is a terrible drawing from me, sorry. But if you see it right here, this one does have the first shape. So does A. You can see that here, and so does B. Now we can look at the second shape. We've cancelled out two options already. Does any of these last options actually have the final shape? Well, if we look at this bit on its own, B doesn't actually have it because you can see here, right? This is a right angle right here, rather than it being curved the whole way around. Hopefully that makes sense. So B doesn't actually have that part of the second shape, so we can cancel that out. E and A both have the round, so they're definitely an option. One of them, I think, is probably reflected rather than being rotated, which is the same idea with the hidden shapes. You can't reflect these ones, they have to be rotated and added together. So if we rotate this, that is right, it would be facing downwards. If we try and do that with this, they're both rotations, so there's nothing wrong with that, but you can see what's missing is this line. So this line should be here, whereas on here, on E, it does have it, and on A it doesn't. So A can't be that, meaning the final answer is E. Again, if you didn't understand that, just rewatch that section and hopefully you can get it. And you can also read through this part, which explains the exact same thing that I've just explained. If we keep going down, I'll do two of these questions and then leave the rest for you guys to do from the book or from the app. So combination shapes, question 1. Let's just put this arrow into this thing, right? Cancel out anything that doesn't match it. So A, the arrow is too short. You can see how long it should be. This is much too short, so we can cancel out A. B, these pentagons have just gotten really wide for some reason, so we can't have that. C, it does look like it would fit. I would say initially the arrow is too short, but I don't think so, because I think you can see here, right? The line or the arrow is actually starting over here, whereas in this option it's actually put up here. So they've just moved the arrow up a bit. So it does actually, it is actually the same size. So I would actually go straight with C, but I'm going to look at the other options as well. Let me rub it out because E actually looks quite similar, and D definitely is wrong, pentagon shape. Alright, now the final thing for us to do is figure out, is it E or is it A? I can see the difference here now. The rectangle is bulging out of the pentagons, whereas in C it isn't. And if we look at the original shape, it shouldn't be doing that. So it should be C and it shouldn't be E. Again, these answers all have explanations at the back of the book, so if you scroll all the way down. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Let's go with question 2. So which ones can we cancel out straight away? If we look at shape 2 and we look at which options don't have shape 2 in it, well, E doesn't have shape 2 in it. Shape 2 is like really shrinked down in E, so we can cancel that out. D also has the smiley face, which is upside down, so it isn't shape 2. It's a variation of shape 2, so it's not going to be D either. If we continue going on, C, same idea. The pentagon in shape 2 is actually pointing the wrong way. It should be pointing down. So we can cancel that one out as well. And now we're left with B and A, which both have shape 2 in it. Now, let's look at the shape 1 and see which one is actually, which option has shape 1 in it as well. So you can see immediately that this star is only 5-sided, whereas shape 1 is 6-sided. So we can cancel out B, and that leaves us with answer A. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense. What we're doing here is, yeah, we're combining these two shapes, but you want to think about it backwards. So you want to think about, they're going to give you loads of options that look like they've been combined, so you want to cancel them out one by one and then figure out which one it is, rather than trying to combine them in your head and looking for which one matches your imagination. It's much better to work backwards and see which ones don't actually match. And if you can do that quickly, all the better. So just get faster and faster at that. But yeah, the next video is going to be, I believe, folding and hole punching. So if you need to watch that video, just click on the end screen card there, and if you need help with that.